How you doing, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, going to cover how drugs get into prisons, right? There's many myths and things over the years and stuff, how drugs get in. Right, so drugs can get into prisons many different ways. Back in the day, you used to have the old drug stuffed inside a tennis ball, thrown onto the yard, or there was even a story about drugs being put inside a dead pigeon, right, and thrown onto the yard, right. And then you've got, like, as advancements in technology and stuff, like you've got drones that have been used to deliver drugs and contraband to cells. You've got prisoners that are being sent to prison for the first time. I've spoke about the prison pocket. For those that don't know, the prison pocket is the arsehole. Sorry to put it like that, but you can't dress it up. It is what it is. And the morning of the trial, or the morning they're going to be sentenced, they plug a load of drugs up their arse, and they go to the prison and they then shit the drugs out, put it into individual wraps, or they just keep it inside themselves, and then just pull it out when they need it, right? Yeah, that's that way. You've got screws that are bringing it in. Some screws bring it in to top up the wages and stuff like that. Drugs are big business within prison. Now, how it would work in that instance is the prison officer would have to get a relationship with a certain prisoner. This prison officer is not going to do it for free, you understand, because of the risk of he'll lose his job and he could himself end up in prison. So what they'd have to do, they'd wrangle a price. Like every time he brings in drugs, he'll get X amount, right? Then the prisoner will go on a visit, or he'll be on the mobile phone to his mate on the out and say, right, meet up with this kid, this screw, give him the drugs, and then once the drugs arrive with me, the prison will then ring his mate on the out and say, right, go and square away with him, sort him out, a backhander or something. Yeah, they can earn grands, right? It does go on, guys. I know it sounds far-fetched and all the rest of it, but guys, like I say, drugs are big business, and you've only got to look at the news recently to see that prison officers have been caught taking drugs into prison. One prison officer was caught taking drugs into a prison, and because she had 2 kids, the judge gave her a suspended sentence, right? If that would have been a bloke, it would have been made a mockery of, would have been made a scapegoat of, and would have been sent down and would have thrown the bucket in, right? But because it was a woman, and she had kids and stuff, she did it. Now, when prison officers are taking drugs into prison, right, as a former prisoner, right, it's a good thing, because, like I say, it's all down to supply and demand, right? Now, like I say, if there's a drought on the wing, right, because sometimes drugs get intercepted, right, if the drugs get intercepted, there's not as many drugs on the wing. So if you're selling them, you can charge a premium for them, because you know that people are going to be fighting over to get the drugs. Spice is the drug of choice for many. People take cocaine, heroin, crack, and everything in between, guys, right? It goes on. So yeah, it's supply and demand, yeah. The prison officer he could be doing it, he'll be doing it to top up his wage. Then you've got prison officers that could be blackmailed. I'll give you an example. Say a female prison officer is having a sexual relationship with a prisoner, right? I know that, again, sounds far-fetched, but again, it does go on, right? The prisoner, right, even if the prisoner isn't really attracted to the female screw, the lads will tell him, listen, get her on side, go with it, take one for the team. Why? Because if they can get a bit of her on mobile phone, like sucking his dick or wanking him off, or where she sends, if he's got a mobile and she's sending pictures to him on WhatsApp or something in prison, and he's got pictures of her with a prison uniform on, with her tits out and stuff, clearly showing her face and stuff, right? That can be used to then blackmail that prison officer. Now, and it does go on, guys. Again, we're convicts at first. First of all, everyone's convicts in prison, and they have to get by, right? So, like I say, they do a bit of this and a bit of that, and they use every situation to their advantage, right? When you're in prison, like I say, prison's shit, right? So you've got to make the best of it. So if you can get a screw to bring in drugs in, because you just say to her, look, if you don't bring drugs in for me, then you see all these pictures and videos and stuff, right? I'm gonna get the phone passed out on a visit. That means you hand it over to a family member on a visit and stuff. They get it out, they go to the media, and then they publish the pictures and the video and stuff, and then it go viral, right? That prison officer would be identified, because what the papers have to do, they're duty bound to send the footage to the prison, right, to the Ministry of Justice or to the press officer at the prison and say, this is the video and pictures we've got. What's your comment? Now they'll go no comment and stuff because, like I say, but they'll do an investigation on the back of it. Then that prison officer is going to get sacked, and then again that prison officer could end up in prison. So like I say, guys, so you've got people used to throw over tennis balls and fucking like dead pigeons and stuff over onto the yard, full of drugs, right? Then you've got drones as the advancements in technology and stuff. You've got drones and stuff which have been used to supply tourism. You've got prison officers bringing it in because they've been blackmailed to. Prison officers bringing it into top of the wages. Prisoners that are taking the, like when you go to in prison, right, and everyone lands on induction wing, unless you've been carried off or you're a nonce, right, a VP, right, you will land up on the induction wing, right? Even if you're getting fast tracked, yeah, if you've been in and out of the prison system, you will land up on the induction wing, and then, like I say, the induction wing, everyone that's on the induction wing expects drugs to arrive on the induction wing because it's induction wing. People plug drugs up their ass to drop when they get in prison to make money, to use it as currency to make money, right? Goes on, right? Yeah, so, and then there's visits, it comes through on visits and stuff, right? Guys, they'll walk into a visit and stuff, there's different ways people do it, right? They'll just hand over a parcel, right? They hand it over, they'll kiss the logo and they'll pass the parcel over, right? I've been on many visits where screws have been watching the cameras, right? And they've intercepted parcels on visits and stuff. I've seen it happen. The screws went over, they grabbed him up, twisted both his arms up, he'd put it into his fucking groin, right? He put it into his fucking boxers, yeah. He had this parcel and the screws ragged him off the thing. They strip searched him and stuff. I've seen it where the lads, you know how kids, the lads have just put their hands in the trackies, right? Well, I remember once, yeah, a kid got ragged off a visit because he had his hands down his pants. He'd not put a parcel down there, but he felt comfortable by sitting with his arms on his bollocks, right? And he got ragged off the visit and he got strip searched, guys. He didn't even have a parcel on him, right? And he was fuming, mate, I tell you, right? If you ever get caught bringing drugs in, if someone passes a parcel over to you and you get caught with it, straight away you'll get a nick in, you'll get put on closed visits, so on and so forth, right? You get but on closed visits you get put in what they call the bubble, where there's like a glass thing in between you and you can't pass stuff over and stuff, and that then can piss lads off on the wing because they know if you're going to cop for a parcel and you've been nicked, right, you're going to get put on closed visits. The drugs have got to find another way in. So that's another way. People make money. People go on visits with people they don't even know just to pass parcels over because they've been paid to do so. Again, goes on, right? I've seen it where someone's gone on a visit and stuff, right? A member of the public, right? Not a prisoner, a member of the public's come on a visit, and what they've done, they've got you know the little bum phones, the little small ones, right? They've cut like the chocolate out of the middle of a fucking Mars bar. They put the phone in there. They then put the chocolate topping back onto the phone, right? So it looks like a chocolate bar. Put it back in the plastic wrapper, right? Obviously there's a rip on the wrapper, but if you go on a visit and stuff and you put it down on the table, right, people think it was a chocolate bar. Now you put the chocolate bar in your pocket, right, which contains a phone or drugs, right, and then you go off the visit, and I've been searched, right? I've never taken parcels back to my wing or anything like that, but my mum used to buy me chocolate and stuff, right, on visits, right? So I just put the chocolate bars in my pocket. I'd get searched. Sometimes they found the chocolate, right? And once or twice they've taken it off me. Other times they've just said, right, there's your chocolate back. You shouldn't really have that. They've not searched the contents of it. It just looks like they just think, oh, it's an open chocolate bar. So they say, right, they give it you back, and they say, right, go back to your wing. You shouldn't be bringing them through. Don't do it again. But again, you've got through with a phone, or it could have been laden with drugs, right? You can only get a small amount of drugs in a Mars bar, but again, if it's a king size Mars bar and stuff, you're going to fit more drugs in it, put the lid back over it. So again, you've got the chocolate casing, it's been hollowed out, you put drugs within it, you put the chocolate bar thing back on top, you put it back into the wrapper. Obviously the wrapper's open and stuff, that's obvious, right? But like I say, you go back to the wing and stuff, and if the screw says, oh, you're sweet, or you're sweet with a screw, the screw will say, right, go on. And then you've got drugs through. And that small, like, couple of grams of drugs in there, yeah, are going for fucking 3-4 times like that much on the inside. Again, big business, guys. There's many other ways, guys. Like I say, there's many ways that people get drugs in. The Ministry of Justice now are introducing body scanners, and they're also but again, and they're carrying out mandatory drugs testing within prison. For those that don't know, that's drug tests within prison. The new drugs test they're doing, the new mandatory drugs testing test for MPSs. MPSs are new psychoactive substances, i.e. spice. So yeah, there's many ways that drugs get in, guys. People think because prisoners are inside prison, they're stupid, they're thick, they got caught, they're busted. Right, guys? Say you carry out 100 crimes and you get caught for one, right? Right? One crime you get caught for, 100 you got away with. That's just bad luck, right? But then, like I say, people think because prisoners are in prison, they're stupid and they're thick and they don't have a clue. Guys, prisoners are far more resourceful, far more intelligent than people will ever know, right? And the convicts, yes, prisoners, are always ahead of the security, right? Security are in the, right, you've got screws, you've got your SOs, you've got your unit managers, you've got your governors and all that bollocks, right? But you have security. Security are the ones that are trying to get the drugs and stuff like that. They come into your cell, they might strip search you, they might wand you like go around with a metal detector in your pad to try and find a phone and stuff if you've got it in your mattress or wherever people put stuff. I'm not going to go into that. There's people hide stuff everywhere, but I'm never going to speak about that because I'm not going to. If Screws watch this video, which I know they have done because when I did my Forest Bank video, Screws watched my video because the governor was aware of it, the senior officers were aware of it, the unit manager, and they'd all watched it, and the lads were writing to me telling me that they thought I was doing these vlogs in prison. Not doing the vlogs in prison. If you look at my timeline, there's a 4.5 month gap. But again, guys, drugs are big business in prison. Steroids, fucking class A, class B, class C, prescription medications, big business within prison and stuff. Like I say, guys, the Ministry of Justice are never going to stop it. I speak out. I'm for prisoners, me. Like I say, I speak about the system. I speak honestly and openly. It's not a secret about drugs getting into prison. Like I say, you've got fucking, it's in the media, the Screws know, the convicts know. Everybody knows, yeah? But it carries on. And like I say, I'm always for prisoners keeping one step ahead. That's what, if I wanted to do, like, if I wanted to talk about constricts or this, that, and the other, like hiding places in prison, I could do so very easily. But I'm not going to blow the lads up and give security and the Screws an idea of what goes on. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Right, guys. Hopefully this covers how drugs get into prison. I think I've covered everything. So drones, Screws bringing it in, blackmailing Screws to bring it in, parcels, visits. Packing your ass full of drugs before you go to be sentenced and stuff. Drones. Yeah, I think I've covered pretty much everything. Right, guys, if I forgot everything, as usual, I'm sorry. When I reach 500 subscribers, guys, I need 52 as it stands right now. When I reach 500, I'm going to give away my black soaps, two of my favourite black soap, and a prison t-shirt. Right? Not that anyone's going to want it, but I'm going to give it and stuff. Going to give it away. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give two away. I'm going to give this one I'm wearing, that one, and I'm going to give two prison t-shirts away and two of my black soaps, right, to two different people. I'm going to write when I reach 500 and people say, right, I'm interested, I'll put their subscriber names into a hat. I'll draw it out, and the first two I draw out will get a prison t-shirt each, and two black soap each. So I've doubled it from one t-shirt to two, and I'm going to send it out to you guys at my cost. Thank you as always, guys, for the feedback and the great comments and stuff. I love you guys. It means a lot. The videos, I've had people that are going to join the prison service message me saying that you're great advice and stuff and great help. people that are studying criminology have contacted me saying they've used my videos for assignments and stuff like that, and they've got good grades on the back of it. People that boyfriends have gone to prison for the first time contacting me, or people that could go to prison down the line because they've been arrested, they're on bail and trial and coming up and all that sort of stuff, and it's all helped them, guys. So like I say, it blows me away. So grateful for your love and your support. I'm just an educated street kid from Manchester who likes to speak out about the system. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Don't know quite what's going on with my voice, but love you guys. Speak to you all soon. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.